We are back on KCRT Power Surge Friday night. I have a local band, Trinidad, Colorado, and Raton, New Mexico, joining forces. They call themselves mixBreed, and I have Abe and I have Dean in the studios with me. Abe is a guitar player. Is you, Abe? Come on closer to your microphone there, Abe, as we see what this new technology sounds like. Come a little closer to the microphone. These things get a little deaf here.
Okay, I'm here.
I also have Dean Perez, and Dean, you're the bass player for the band.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys coming in to talk to us. Now, you guys have a show coming up Saturday night over at the Spur Lounge in Raton. Whoever best wants to describe the style mixBreed is.
Well, actually, it's kind of an interesting story. We all played in different bands, and we all played a lot of different styles, and I mean everything, like country, oldies, just everything that's going around locally now. And we all used to get together and just jam together. We never thought we'd come out of the garage. As it turned out, we got hit up by the tattoo parlor here in town, Deuce Tattoo.
Yeah, Deuce Tattoo.
We did a gig for them, and after that gig, the phone just started blowing up, and we never thought we'd gig. We thought it was just a garage jam kind of thing, and so now we've been gigging. We've gone as far as Red River to the Bull of the Woods, and you know, we play all over the place, but it's a alternative rock, like 90s style rock, punk, ska. We throw a little bit of reggae in there, like Sublime style, and we've just been having fun, and we've had a great crowd response.
I've had a chance to see some ska talent up in Pueblo back when the Chief Theater was doing local shows in the early 2000s. I had a chance to see what ska was about. I mean, I dig it live. You know, there's no problem. But a lot of people have been asking me. In fact, I was visiting with my friend Glenn last week, and I was telling him about ska. He says, "What exactly is ska?" Well, now that I have a band member with me right now, maybe you could tell me the exact definition on what a ska genre is. Maybe you guys could better describe ska for me.
Traditional ska has horns. Naturally, we don't have horns, but we still play ska. And what ska is, the easiest way to define ska is it's a faster paced reggae.
Okay.
If you take a reggae beat and you double tempo it, you've basically got a ska beat. And when you throw horns and...
Well, that's where I got into trouble. I didn't know whether to describe it as another version of punk that's been redefined, or reggae, or ska reggae, or punk reggae. I just didn't know how to describe it. So
no, it kind of blends the line. It's funny how a lot of punk bands play ska. It's just, like I said, a faster beat reggae, but it really lends itself to kind of crowds that like to bump into each other, let's say.
Name a few bands that are in the ska genre that might be familiar to some of the listeners' ears.
Sublime used to play a lot of ska and kind of married that punk genre. Back in the 90s, the biggest name ska band that people would know are the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Kind of on the punk ska front was a band called Rancid. They did a lot of that stuff. But yeah, there are a lot of new ska bands out there. It's funny, if you're into that genre, there's a lot of new punk and new ska, and we're actually covering that stuff as well as the 90s stuff.
Well, one of the questions I want to ask either you, Abe, or Dean is, how did you guys manage to run to one another and join forces and create this project called mixBreed?
Me and Abe first got together. We worked together at Danielson Designs. That's how we hooked up. I was jamming away on my bass in the back. I used to play it on my breaks, and he walked up to me and started asking me if I wanted to jam sometime. So we hooked up and started making some music together.
I never thought about playing my bass guitar on break up there, and I got a recording studio in the back room here. I never thought about that.
That's right. I heard you're a musician, Bob.
Yeah, I'm more of a hobbyist of a musician. I've never had a chance to try with the band yet. I probably want to get a few more pointers before I have enough guts to go on stage.
Right.
What do you play as far as bass guitar? What kind of gear do you play with?
I have a Ampeg SVT Classic amplifier.
Lucky
with
devil.
an 810 cabinet, and I have a 1975 reissued jazz bass, which is one of my babies.
How about you, Abe? Tell me what you got for gear on the stage for those of us that are musicians.
Well, it's funny. I bought two guitars, a Gibson Les Paul and a Gibson SG. And as funny as that sounds, I bought them both from Dean here. And I ended up selling them both. And I bought a Gibson. It's for all intents and purposes, it's a Gibson 339. It's like a jazz guitar. When you put some distortion through it, I tell you what, it really it'll bite you.
How long have you been playing guitar?
That's a funny question, because I first, when I was 10 years old, started playing banjo. my uncle was in a bluegrass band, and I thought that was just cool. And so I learned how to play a banjo when I was a kid. And when I was in high school, I learned that girls kind of like guitar more than banjo. So I went ahead and switched on over.
So. How about you, Dean? How long have you been a bass player, sir?
I've been playing bass for about 6-7 years. I used to play guitar as well. I still do mess around with it once in a while. I just took to the bass, and I love it a lot more.
Right. Let's talk about the Saturday night's gig.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's at 9 o'clock. The doors open at 9 o'clock. We'll probably get started a little bit later than that, kind of let some people come in. It is a $3 cover, and we thought about that. Normally we have a $5 cover, right, and sometimes more, but we actually took the entire winter off. We were gigging quite a bit, right, and we decided to just cut it. And this is our comeback gig, and so we thought, you know what, let's drop the price, hopefully get some people in there and have some fun. But we're gonna put on a great show. We have a lot of fun, and we get a lot of audience participation, and it really is a good time. And the last thing I'll say about that is I've played in a lot of bands around here. There are a lot of country bands and a lot of Spanish bands around here. I know that because I've played in it. Right. And we are just about the only other flavor in town. So if you're not listening to country and you're not listening to Spanish and you like live music, you need to come out and check us out. When you get used to listening to country and Spanish and some Southern rock live, you know what it sounds like. But when you start hearing some of these songs that you've only heard, a DJ spin, it sounds great live. It's worth checking out for sure.
Number one clue, fun time.
That's right.
That's what it's all about, is the fun time.
It's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it.
Some fans are probably wondering, well, this sounds cool. I wonder if they're going to have music at the show to sell us. I bet let you give the listeners a 411, what you guys have.
We don't have anything recorded yet, and believe it or not,
magic word, yet.
That's right, yet. We're going to sprinkle in some of our original stuff as well, written by Mr. Dean Perez right here. He's actually quite a songwriter.
Oh, good job, bro.
We sprinkle some of that stuff in there so you can hear what we like to sound like when it's our own stuff, and it's going to be a great time for sure. Do not miss.
Okay, now one thing we got to remind everyone, it's 21 and over at the Spur Lounge. Unfortunately, that's the way the law is, so we got to abide by the law. But if you're 21 and over, and if you want live entertainment, as Abe says, if it's anything other than country or Spanish, and we love those genres too, there's nothing wrong with those either. We have a second choice here. And mixBreed pretty much fits the name of the band. Looking at some of the playlists you guys have right now, anywhere from the 1990s band, I'll give you a few examples. Like you mentioned, Rancid's one of them here. I'll give you another one here. The Cure, you can see Green Day, even Hash Pipe, or maybe The Clash. Well, Abe, Dean, I want to thank you guys for joining with us here.
Thanks for having us, Bob.
Thank you.